let's talk about this.
Are we having fun yet?
Jock Landale, where have you been, big man? So our boy Jock Landale is being assigned to the G League, and I do have some thoughts about that because last night we saw a little bit of him and he made the most out of his minutes. You see a little hook shot there. I know he had a 3-pointer down the stretch as well, but you got to keep in mind this is garbage time. All right, this isn't something where it's like he played a plethora of minutes and he was just amazing all game. No, it's garbage time. The Knicks realize that it's garbage time. You're gonna take your foot off the pedal just a little bit, but nonetheless, he did well. He shot a 3. He was hustling up and down the court. Everything I saw from him, I was like, oh, he looks pretty good. Now, here's the thing, because a lot of people are upset about this whole Jock Landale to the G League thing, and I do have something to say. There's a few things I have to say about this. First and foremost, let me go ahead and make an argument for him not being in the G League, okay? I truly do believe this, and I know that this might be a little crazy to say now, but I've never been afraid to be a little hyperbolic on this channel. I genuinely do believe this, though. I believe that Jock Landale is better than Drew Eubanks, and I know that I haven't seen a lot of Jock, but let me explain. I'm gonna try to put it in perspective, okay? So I'm gonna talk about Jock Landale and why I think that he's better than Drew Eubanks and why I think that he's a really good talent that we have. But I'm also gonna talk about him going to the G League and why that makes sense as well. So let's go ahead and start with why I believe that he's better. I want to go ahead and compare him to Patty Mills. So obviously we know that Jock Landale was considered a star in Australia, like undoubtedly. Even people on this channel that talked to me when we got him that were Australian said they watched a lot of him and he's considered a star in Australia. Patty Mills is considered a star in Australia. Now, I think that we all would say, even though they're two different positions, that Patty Mills is better than Drew Eubanks, right? I think we all would agree on that. Now, Patty Mills in the NBA, it's going to be mitigated a little bit. He's not going to be a superstar like he would be in Australia, but he is a very prominent role player in the NBA, like a very good role player in the NBA. He can take over a game here and there, but I think we all consider Patty Mills as a really great role player. So with that being said, I would assume that Jock Landale, as well as from being over Australia and being a star in Australia and coming into the NBA, that he would more than likely be considered a very good role player, hopefully better than that. But right now as it stands, he would be considered a really good role player. Now, here's the thing. Do we believe, and it's just speculative, okay? But would we believe that Drew Eubanks in Australia would be a star in Australia? I don't know. And this isn't me like talking bad about Drew, because I do like Drew Eubanks. It's just me making a comparison, because even though Drew Eubanks isn't getting a lot of minutes, when we're talking about like who should get minutes, who shouldn't, I would say that Jock Landale is going to be, if not already, a better player than Drew Eubanks. So that's an argument for me just saying, hey, just give him minutes in the NBA. Now, here's the thing. Him going to the G League, we just want him to get reps at this point. I know a lot of people believe that the San Antonio Spurs just flat out just haven't been playing them at all, and it's all the San Antonio Spurs. There's a lot of things that happened with Jock Landale where that made him not get a lot of playing time. For instance, he got a concussion earlier in the season. I don't know if anybody remember that. I believe it was preseason, but he got a concussion. That kept him out because they're very cautious, not only in the NFL, but in the NBA, they're cautious of those concussions, and they're going to keep you out. And that takes away from the playing time that he could get even in practice and 3-on-3s. It takes away from all of that. So even in that regard, he has to slowly be implemented in the NBA. Then it was the COVID protocols, and that kept him out as well. So it's a lot of different reasons that kind of kept him out of the rotation. And now maybe in the last few, here we go. I didn't even read this part, but yeah, they said it right here, concussion and the COVID protocols. Yeah, so I said that. But yeah, so like I was saying, there's a few things that kept him from being able to play significant minutes. Keep in mind, we're fairly still maybe like a quarter through the season, maybe almost half. Like there's a lot of basketball to be played. Okay, there's a lot of basketball to be played, but there's things that just kept him out. And then on top of all of that, it's not like he's played in the NBA before. He has to adjust to the NBA. So that's another hurdle that he has to go through. So I completely agree with the Spurs going ahead and giving him the G League right now, sending him to the G League and letting him get minutes there, just so he can kind of build up his confidence, get those reps, and eventually play. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of people have complained about Josh Primo going to the G League, which I make jokes about it all the time. Like, obviously, I want to see Primo play a lot. But as you can see, Primo's even starting to get NBA minutes. He's even starting to play a little bit more. So it's just a matter of being patient. And I understand where people are coming from. It was basically people all over Twitter talking about Jock Landale needs to play. He needs to be in the NBA right now. But the fact of the matter is look, man, he just hasn't gotten a lot of NBA minutes because of a lot of things that happened in the preseason. And then he also has to adjust to the speed and the strength of NBA players. So it's just going to take a little time. And I think that this is a good move. Just go ahead and send him out there, let him get some reps. And just like Primo, I also believe that his talent is going to surpass the G League eventually, even in this season, and he'll be in the NBA and he'll be ready. But the last thing I want is for him just like sitting on the bench and not doing anything, because you're not really helping yourself or the team just sitting on the bench. So, but yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. One thing as well I want to add, just as far as G League, just an argument for the G League is, and I said this in another video as well, I talked to Swishhill about this. In the G League, you actually practice. In the NBA, you don't practice much at all. Like, you look at film, you do some runarounds. I mean, you don't really practice because you're continuously on the road. You're continuously flying from place to place. There's not a lot of room for practice in the NBA. It just is what it is, just how the schedule's set up. And the G League is not necessarily like that. There's way more practice. It's a developmental league for a reason. So he's going to get way more reps with them right now. And I think that he'll eventually be able to go into the Spurs system and be good. So those are my thoughts on it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. But with that being said, if you want to support the channel, link in the description for that. It's the Patreon link below or the YouTube member link. Also join the Discord. I know I don't say that a lot, but guys, please join the Discord. We have a lot of good conversations in here. There's a description or link in the description for this as well. But yeah, join, talk to us, man. Have a good time. You can give me content suggestions as well. Like, a lot of times I post the content in here, but people give me content suggestions, like this one on Sabonis, and there's a few other ones in here. But yeah, so you guys just go ahead and join that as well, and I'll get with you guys later, man. Until next time.